Hi everyone. So I had a lot of questions the past few days about fasting and the different kind of fasting and what does it mean and how to do it, how to enter, how to exit. So today we're going to talk about fasting. Fasting is an incredible health tool. I used it to heal a stage 3 colon cancer, among other things. Fasting is the ultimate inner doctor. The reason why fasting is so powerful is because it regenerates your body on a cellular level. So what happens is your dirty cells are literally eaten by your healthy cells. But I'm gonna develop that a little bit later. I've been doing intermittent fasting for more than 20 years and regular prolonged fasting for about 15. But it's not until I've been diagnosed with cancer almost a year and a half ago that I really start using it every day as a tool to heal myself. There are many ways of doing fasting. You have a very basic juice fast, which is not technically a fast, but something with nothing but raw, fresh vegetable juice. You have intermittent fasting and different ways of doing it. Again, I will explain that in a minute. You have water fast, where you only drink water, nothing else, no food. And finally, you have dry fast, where you don't even drink. Okay, all of those can be done intermittently or prolonged fasting. If you want the exact protocol that I followed when I was sick in order to heal myself, I put everything in my 2 books. The first book is How My Immune System Beat Cancer, and the second one is Eat Fat to Lose Fat, The Secret of the Ketogenic Diet. I will put the link in the description below. But here is a simplified way to explain it and to describe what fasting really is. First, let's talk briefly about why fasting. Because a lot of people want to try it, a lot of people have heard about it, but sometimes they think, hey, isn't it dangerous? Especially the prolonged fast, isn't it bad for me? Am I not supposed to eat 3, 4, 5, 6 times a day? Well, the short answer is no. If we want to develop that a little bit, just try to imagine the life of our ancestors. Just try to project yourself in the Paleolithic era and the caveman kind of lifestyle. First, breakfast. Breakfast doesn't make any sense from an evolutionary perspective. I'm a caveman. I wake up in the morning in my cave. My cave is my secure place. Okay? What I don't want is for any predators to start coming around my cave, sniff it, looking for food, looking for water in the area. So most of the time we could extrapolate that there is no food, there is no smell of blood, there's no smell of fruits, there is no water nearby. I'm far away from any danger and I can sleep peacefully. So I wake up in the morning, there's no food around, and the water is probably not just right here. So I'm in a dry fast mode, so to speak. There was no way to get up in the middle of the night to have a glass of water, no way to have a late evening snack, none of those. So I wake up and I start doing my thing. The first thing is probably to find water, or to go at least where the water is. So I go there, get my water, and now start to look for food. Let's say, just for the conversation, that it's 10 a.m. Okay, I'm gonna start, if I'm a man, probably go hunt, and if I'm a woman, probably start gathering whatever I can find at this particular season. If it's the summer, maybe a few fruits. If it's the rest of the year, probably some whatever roots or whatever berries I could find. And now the guys are hunting. Okay, they find something, kill it, start to cut a few pieces to bring back to the camp and feed the woman and the children. So I broke my fast pretty close to noon. Plus, scientists believe today that the hunting time of early humans was actually around noon, because we are one of the very few mammals who can actually sweat and evacuate the heat. So if I'm running after a gazelle or whatever prey that I'm running after at noon when it's really hot, I can sweat it off and I can eliminate that heat while my prey is gonna overheat and get tired very easily. So we can again imagine that my first meal would be around noon. Maybe I had something else later in the day, and that was it. So again, I extrapolate, but this is kind of a very probable story. And many scientists and doctors agree with that theory of intermittent fasting being very, very natural to humans. Now, the second part of my story is, even though I'm going out for hunt, doesn't mean I'm gonna catch something, okay? We are probably the slowest, the least powerful of all mammals in our hunting pool. So it's gonna be difficult for me to find something every day, every single time, especially in the winter. So we could again extrapolate that my body is kind of used to function without any kind of food for long periods of time. And the final point of my theory is that when we fast, all our awareness, our strength, our speed, everything that we are goes up. Why? Because if, as a caveman, I spend 3 or 4 days without any food, and my energy goes down, and my focus goes down, and my speed goes down, and my view, my hearing, everything goes down, how am I going to be able to find food if I didn't on day 1 and 2 when I was 100%? It's not logical. It doesn't make any sense from an evolutionary perspective. So when I'm fasting, all my senses are going up. I'm more focused, I'm faster, I'm stronger, I hear better, I see better. So my body knows I've been without food for so many days, and that now it becomes urgent for me to find food. So all the adrenaline, all my strength, all my energy is going up to make sure I will find food on that critical day number 4 or number 5, because the body doesn't want to fast long time. So that was just a little parenthesis in order to nourish my theory. Now let's go back to what we were saying before, the benefits of fasting. So not only my energy goes up, all my senses are improved, but there's something very important happening when we fast, and it's called autophagy. What is autophagy? Auto means self, phagy means to eat. So it's basically, like I said before, my healthy cells, because they have no food, they're gonna feed on my dirty cells, all the cells that the body needs to recycle, the cancer cells, long chains of protein that my body couldn't digest, all those little things. My body, my healthy cells are gonna feed on those in order to create energy and for me to stay alive. And this is why cancer is so afraid of autophagy, because my healthy cells are gonna literally eat the cancer cells. And I've talked about it many times in my videos. I talk about it in my book. That is one of the key tools that I used when I was sick. For those who don't know the story, I was diagnosed with a stage 3 genetic colon cancer about 1.5 years ago. And in 4 months, using different tools, I was completely cancer-free. The main tool that I believe I used was prolonged fasting. I did a 21-day water fast, and the results were amazing. In 21 days only, my tumor has shrunk from 10 centimeters to 5.5, so almost 50% smaller, without any treatment, without anything, just fasting and water, and a tiny little bit of wheatgrass once in a while, 2 or 3 times a week. That's it, nothing else. So the power of fasting is now scientifically recognized. There are tons of scientific literature to explain us the link between healing from cancer and fasting. So now let's talk about the different kind of fasting. The first one is not technically a fast, it's what I call a juice fast. So what you do, you're gonna stop eating solid food and you're just gonna do fresh, organic if you can, made at home vegetable juice. And when I mean vegetables, no fruits for now. Okay, fruits are not good in a juice form anyway. There's too much sugar. The sugar without the fiber will rise your insulin, and it's the opposite of what you want to do when you're fasting. So vegetable juice, the fruits, if you eat fruits, if you don't have cancer, because cancer likes sugar. So when you are actively fighting against cancer, what I did personally is I stopped all sugar, including fruits. But if you're healthy or you don't have any specific tumor you're fighting against, then fruits are fine, but they have to be seasonal, just like the veggies. So in my juice, I'm gonna use seasonality to make sure I don't have too much of certain veggies and not enough of others. So basically you take anything that is in season, preferably organic, put them in a slow pressed juicer, get the juice, which is 100% pure water, metabolic water, and micronutrition. That's all that it is. It's fantastic. It's the best multivitamin mineral pill you can take ever. And you drink it. That's it. You can drink it as much as you want during the day, and you don't eat anything else. The second kind of fasting is what we call intermittent fasting. And here again, there's many ways of doing it. Some people do 1 meal a day. Other people do 2 meals a day, but in a short eating window, eating period. You can do once every other day. Okay, it's called alternate day fasting. And there's many different ways. Some people fast for so many hours and eat only in so many hours eating window, but just know that there are many ways of doing intermittent fasting. You can do intermittent fasting dry, with no food, no water, or water intermittent fasting, drinking water only. It's up to you. When you break your fast with something light enough, like maybe a vegetable juice, and then you go for your regular meals. Then you have water fast. You can do anywhere between 24 hours and 3 days. After that, it becomes a prolonged fast. Nothing wrong with it, it's just a little bit different. So a water fast is very simple. You don't eat anything, you just drink water anytime you want. And finally, you have dry fast. Dry fast, there's pros and cons. Cons is obviously you can't dry fast for as long as you can with a water fast. I've heard of people who've done it, but personally when I did my 21-day fast, I wouldn't have done it without water. It would have been too hard for me. So I did it with water. It is said that dry fast is 3 times as powerful as water fast. Because basically what you do during a fast, you put the body in a situation where it needs to fight against the situation. It needs to find water, it needs to find food. Where does the body find those things? Food, we talked about it before. It's gonna eat your own body fat, which is food storage, and it's gonna eat cancer cells and inappropriate cells. So that's perfect, it's great. What happens with water? When you do a dry fast, the body has to find water somewhere else because you're not drinking. There's a lot of water in your fat reserves. So the body is gonna burn even more fat in order to get the water. When our body needs water and we don't have any, it's gonna burn body fat twice as fat. So, because water fast is very interesting, but not as powerful, we can do it longer. Because dry fast is 3 times as powerful, 1 day of dry fast is the equivalent of 3 days of water fast. It's very interesting. If you don't have a lot of time or you don't like to deprive yourself for long periods of time, 1, 2, 3 days of dry fast will do a lot of work. Cleans the body, reduce body fat. It's very, very powerful. But again, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a biologist, I'm not a scientist. So make sure you check with your doctors before doing any kind of prolonged fasting or any kind of dry fast. You gotta make sure you can take it and be smart about it. If you feel that something's wrong, you're feeling a little more than just a simple detox, just stop. Drink a little bit, start again later, or don't, okay? But be smart. Listen to your body and listen to your doctor. Okay guys, that's it for today. If you have any questions or comments, make sure to put them under the video and I'll try my best to answer everybody. Have a great day.